Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Join me today as we plant some spring bulbs in container pots. So let's go. I live in New Hampshire. I garden in USDA Zone 5B. Based on my location and my zip code, my average last frost date is May 15th. Today is March 21st and I'm about 8 weeks away from my average last frost date. I figured it's a great day for us to do some spring bulb planting. And perhaps you want to join me. Maybe you also have some spring bulbs that you never got in the ground, and it's a perfect time to either get them in the ground or put them in a container pot. Now you may be thinking, isn't it the wrong time of year to be planting spring bulbs? Not really. I actually have a number of videos on my channel that I'd love for you to check out after you're done with this one. One video has to do specifically with my experience with planting spring bulbs in pots and why I choose to wait until about March to get them planted in container pots. I have another video that talks about what to do with your spring blooming bulbs after they're done in container pots. Definitely check that video out as well. And then I have another video that talks about how to force spring bulbs for indoor blooms, which I did last year, and that was a lot of fun. The bulbs that we're going to be planting today are called tete-a-tete, and they are so beautiful. I've had them in container pots for a number of years, and each year they just keep multiplying in number. So before we begin the project, I want to share a couple of really important things that you need to know. The first thing to know is that almost all spring bulbs need a vernalization period. What that means is a cold period. For a temperature range, we're looking somewhere between 32 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit. And depending on the bulb, some bulbs only need a chill period of 6 weeks, others need a chill period up to 17 weeks. It's always good to research the bulb that you want to plant and how long of a cold period it needs. There are a lot of different ways you can give your bulb the cold period. One way is I could take these bulbs and just put them out in my landscape. Here where I live in New Hampshire, they would automatically get that cold period. But seeing that we want to plant these in a container pot, the way that I gave them a cold period was actually just by keeping them in my unheated garage, where it doesn't freeze during the winter months, but it definitely stays around 38 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit during January and February, and those happen to be the coldest months of my year. Some people also like to chill their bulbs just by putting them in the refrigerator. And again, if you check out some of my older videos that I've linked down below, I go into that in more detail. So after you've picked out your bulbs and you've given them a cold period, the next thing you need is some sort of a container pot. And the container pot needs to be deep enough depending on the bulbs that you're planting. Since we're just planting tete-a-tete daffodils, we actually don't need a very deep pot. But no matter what pot you choose, it's a good idea to have drainage holes in the bottom of it. And then you want to fill that container with a well-draining potting mix. You can use whatever potting mix you like. I just like to reuse potting mix that I had in container pots from last year. If you're using new bulbs that you bought this season, you don't need to give them fertilizer. The bulbs have everything they need in order to bloom. These bulbs that we're going to be planting, these are bulbs that I've had from previous years. So for that reason, I will be adding fertilizer in the hole as I plant the bulbs. And whenever I plant spring bulbs, I like to use Espoma bulb tone. It has the proper NPK ratio that's needed for the bulbs. When it comes to how deep to plant the bulbs, it's going to vary from bulb to bulb. But a general rule of thumb is you want to plant them about 2 to 3 times deeper than the height of the bulb. The placement or orientation of the bulb is very important. You want to make sure you have it placed pointy side up. And if you're still confused and you're not sure what the pointy side up is, just place the bulb on the side and it should find its way up. In terms of spacing, if you were to plant spring bulbs in the landscape, then it's important to space them according to the packaging. However, if you're going to place spring bulbs in a container pot, you can basically place them nice and tight near each other. You want the flowers to bloom almost like they look like a nice bouquet. Now, these are not the only bulbs I'm going to be planting today. I have a whole bunch of other bulbs I'll be planting outside of this video, but I'll be following the same process I'm showing you today. And in case you're wondering what those bulbs are, I have a video that talked about why I wasn't buying any spring bulbs this year, and I was just going to reuse the bulbs that I had. If you missed that video, I'll also link that down below. And since I'm going to be planting a lot of different bulbs in container pots this year, I'll be labeling each of the pots just so I know what's in each of them. Bulbs can initially rot, so when you first plant them, you want to make sure you're just giving them a slight drink of water and that's it. However, as soon as active growth appears, when green shoots are appearing at the top of your pot, at that point you can increase the amount of water. In fact, you don't want your bulbs to dry out. You want to make sure you're giving them the right amount of water as they need it. So after you've planted your bulbs in pots, then what? Well, for me, I still have some very cold temperatures at nighttime. So I don't want to place my container pots out in the landscape or out on my porch quite yet. I want to hold off on that. Although if the daytime temperatures are above freezing and they are starting to put out green growth, at that point I really should be bringing them out during the day so that they can photosynthesize. However, at night, if the temperatures are going to be hovering around freezing or below, I want to bring the bulbs inside. You might be wondering why, because usually spring bulbs can take cold temperatures. The problem is the bulbs that are in the container pots are a lot more sensitive to cold, a lot more than the bulbs that are in the ground. So for that reason, it's better to protect your container pots and bring them in at night when it's going to be cold, and then bring them out during the day when it's going to be warmer. And I haven't even talked about what's in this container pot over here. These are daffodils, and I planted these in November. I put them in my garage, and you can see how much growth they've put on. And that's great, that's fine, but the problem is I cannot bring this pot outside just yet, at least not at nighttime. It's still too cold outside. So right now I have these guys under grow lights in my unheated garage. And they even have some flower buds and they're ready to bloom. And that's exactly why I held off on planting more than just this container pot. I didn't want to have a whole bunch at this stage of growth. I wanted to slow down the growth. So I'm going to touch upon aftercare very briefly. After we have all this nice leafy growth and after the flowers are done blooming, it's important to deadhead the flowers, meaning just come in and follow each flower stalk down and clip it there, but don't cut back all the foliage. You need that green foliage there to continue feeding the bulbs for next year. After the flowers are done blooming, but the foliage is still there, you could sprinkle a little bit of fertilizer, that's optional, but it is extremely important that you continue watering your potted bulbs because you don't want them to dry out. You want to make sure that these green leaves continue to be green. However, after about 6 or 8 weeks, they will start to die back. You'll notice that they start turning brown and they start dying. At that point, you can do one of two things. The most common thing that people like to do is take the bulbs and just put them out somewhere in the landscape. What I like to do is take the bulbs out of the pot. I dry them for a number of days. Basically, I'm letting them cure. I clean them up, I put them back in a paper bag, and then I keep them in my cool basement during the warm summer months. And again, I have videos that talk more about that process. They're all linked down below, so you can always check those videos out. So enough talking, let's go ahead and fill up this beautiful container pot with some bulbs. So we have a pot here that has the drainage holes in the bottom, and I want you to see how small these tete-a-tete daffodils are. So they are just going to be 2 to 3 times deeper than the height of the bulb, and the height of the bulb is right here. It's not including the green shoot. So let's go ahead and add some of the potting mix into this pot. Here's the fertilizer that I'm going to use, and we're just going to be sprinkling it at the bottom right before we add the bulbs. It's an organic fertilizer, so it should not burn the bulbs or be harmful to the bulbs. In this case, it's obvious what pointy side up is because it's already sending out the shoots. And again, if you weren't sure, you could just place it on its side and the shoots would come up. So I'm just placing them in here, again, pretty close to each other. Some of these are much larger, some are much smaller. And that's just because they're a couple of years old. They're probably, if I had to guess, 3 or 4 years old now. And so naturally over time, they've multiplied. And I'm not too concerned about having some that don't bloom this year. Like this one here is pretty small, it might not bloom. And that's okay, but if you wanted to make sure that you were getting all blooms, then you might be picking out just the largest bulbs and putting those in your container pot. And you're noticing that they are pushing out the green growth. I'm feeling them and they're nice and firm. If any of them were not feeling firm and they were feeling mushy or soft, then I'd make sure I was not putting them in this container. So while these bulbs were chilling in my garage in their paper bags, they were pushing out a little bit of growth, but the big thing was it was a very slow growth. Whereas if I had planted these up in November, the problem is they would have not only just pushed out the top growth, they would have created roots, and by now they would be blooming, or they might have already bloomed. However, I wouldn't have been able to bring them outside, and that's an issue. That is plenty. So now what we're going to do is just cover up these bulbs. This potting mix that we're using is pre-moistened, and I didn't pre-moisten it. It's just still wet from when I emptied out a container pot from last year. So for that reason, we're not going to be adding any additional water. However, if you were following along with me and your potting mix was very dry, then you would want to add a small drink of water. Just don't give too much water because at this point, all we're trying to do is wake these guys up. Now it's going to take a number of weeks for them to start creating their roots. And I'm planning to just leave these in my garage where it's nice and cool still. The temperature in the garage is about 50 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And as soon as I start to see top growth appearing, then I can start bringing this outside on my porch during the daytime, because my daytime temperatures are generally 35 degrees or higher this time of year. The nighttime temperatures are still pretty cold. I'm always experimenting and trying different things. For some parts of the United States, you can get away with putting your bulbs in container pots outside in the fall time. But in areas that get very cold temperatures, the problem is the bulbs can freeze. And if they freeze or they get too wet, they're apt to rot. So as I put the potting mix on, I'm just pressing down just to eliminate any air pockets that might be in there. I don't want to fill this all the way to the top, because as the bulbs start pushing up, they're going to be pushing the potting mix up. And I also want to be able to water this eventually. So we're going to leave about a 1-inch gap from the top of the soil to the top of the pot. And that's it. This is going to stay in the garage. It doesn't need to be under light. And I'll give you updates in future videos on how this is looking. The next pot that I'm going to make will be hyacinths. I have so many other bulbs I need to get potted up. I'm so excited. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm hoping that it gave you motivation or inspiration to get your spring bulbs that you never got put out in the fall time out in the landscape, or get them potted up. Do something with them. They're better off in a container, or they're better off in the landscape than they are in the bag. I'm also hoping that this gave you some inspiration to hold on to some bulbs so that you can plant them this time of year, where you can force them to bloom indoors, or you can get them to bloom at the right time so you can put them for a beautiful display on your porch, your patio, or in your landscape. Let me know in the comments if you like to put spring bulbs in container pots. If so, how do you do it? When do you do it? And where do you live? Because where you live, you might be able to do this type of project in the fall time. Or do you struggle with spring bulbs in container pots because perhaps you live in a very cold or very wet climate? Let me know, and until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.